Sing for the activation, sing for the new time. Sing for the activation, sing for the new time. You think you can run from vision and make it to the shore. You think this is all confusion. The rivers are full of pollution. Is it what we will continue to ignore? Warrior time in the sky. We must soar high if you wanna make it out of here alive. Yet the family of one is the only way we will survive. It's up to us to awaken and listen to Mother Earth's voice. It's up to us to find solutions. What will be your choice? Yeah, welcome to Serpentbird Activation. Today we're here with Sada Singh,
Sada.
and his Serpentbird tribe name is.
Blackfeather.
So Serpentbird and Blackfeather are here today to inspire you, and this is an interview to highlight my core member from the Serpentbird 7, which was started back somewhere between 2010 and 2011 in Columbus, Ohio. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And all right, so the first question is buried in my journal here, so I'm just gonna go take a nice cruise through here. All right, so I want to talk about your name that was given to you. The new, is it a Sikh name then?
It's some people call it a Sikh name. It's a Gurmukhi name. It's in the Gurmukhi language, but I personally am not a baptized Sikh. I'm a pantheist, and I view all cultures and spiritual traditions like subjects in school. So, you go to school, you learn math and science and English, and, I learn about Buddhism, Sikhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Native American ceremonies, and you wouldn't say, like, I believe in math but not science, because there's math in science, and all of these traditions work together, give you a well-rounded view of yourself and the world.
All right, so talk more about Sada Singh and how that breaks down.
You got it, yeah. So this name was given to me by Niranjan Kaur Khalsa, who was the personal secretary, the one who was taught to bestow spiritual names by Yogi Bhajan. May be able to see some pictures of Yogi Bhajan here. Yogi Bhajan was a master of Kundalini Yoga who came to America in 1969. I know we'll talk more about him later, but basically he was this master who founded this lineage of yoga in America, and he trained Niranjan Kaur. So you send away your birth date and where you're from. It's kind of based on your astrology and your numerology, and they give you this name, Sada, meaning always or eternal, and Nam, like name, meaning the holy names, spiritual, like sacred names. There's thousands of names of the divine, which are really not different beings. They're just different adjectives. They're different qualities. Like we have Krishna, we have Shiva and Lakshmi, and all of these beings, these deities, and their names refer to like abundance or consciousness. Sada Nam means always repeating the names, always chanting the holy names.
Okay.
And I love to sing kirtan and chant mantras in my classes, and whether it's singing a Native American song about Great Spirit, Wankatanka, or singing mantras about, it's all rivers to the same ocean. And
Right.
Singh means a lion, so it means lion of God who is always chanting, meditating on the holy names, and realizing his divine personality through that. So.
You said lion?
Singh means a lion. That's the kind of last name that's given.
Yeah, so that would explain your cat.
I have
Fancy.
2 lions.
Yeah, right? All right, so actually that brings a topic to mind that I had side notes for, which is as I've been taking some of your Kundalini classes, there's a 7 steps to happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And the first step is commitment. So your name actually kind of like reinforces that.
Yes, yeah. And people get freaked out, and that's why I wanted to address this. Some people call me Alex, which was a name that I was given when I was born. Some people call me Black Feather, which is more my tribal shaman name. And some people in my yoga classes, I introduce myself by my yoga name, it's Sada Nam. And what would a rose by any other name smell as sweet, to quote Shakespeare.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on Serpentbird Activation, not just because I'm in Columbus and because you're part of the continual medicine wheel ceremonies that take place here when I come to town, but also because I've seen over the years that you do really have a focus on staying focused, staying committed to unity consciousness, and just staying focused on how to serve humanity at large. So, so that's really appropriate that they found that name for you.
It is very appropriate for me, and many people find, it's free, you can give a donation, you can get this little destiny card, but on 3HO's website, you can send away, and Niranjan Kaur will give you a spiritual name. It's just interesting to see how it applies to your life, and then the more people call you that, the more it reinforces that identity, that spiritual identity that we have. And if I'm in a sweat lodge, I might introduce myself as Brother Black Feather, and if I'm at a Kundalini festival, I might refer to myself as Sada Nam. It's all the same, there's these different aspects of ourself, but like you said, we want to reach everyone and uplift everyone. So I go to these different types of spiritual gatherings because a lot of people are afraid to come to yoga. They think that you need to have a special type of body, a special type of flexibility, or be in shape or something, which you absolutely do not. Anyone can do Kundalini yoga. We practice with our eyes closed, and you don't have to be flexible. Really, if you're not flexible, that means you need it even more. And it gradually opens up. You just have to be patient. You have to accept yourself, and that's what we do.
And through the Kundalini yoga and the mantra that Kundalini yoga brings to the practice, it's almost like that creates your flexibility in life anyway. So
it's
you
more
kind of
about the
release
mental.
your own patterns around, like, I'm not flexible enough. So.
Yeah.
But I want to move to our second question, which is, when you chose Kundalini yoga as the branch of yoga that you wanted to follow, how did you decipher whether Yogi Bhajan was a teacher that you wanted to wholeheartedly follow and then teach his teachings?
Yeah, and I was talking to my class about this earlier this morning, because there was about 5 years that I was practicing different styles of yoga, and I was kind of searching for the one that I was most in alignment with what I wanted to do and who I am. And I love Hatha for like opening up your flexibility. Ashtanga is more like a workout, get it really flexible and powerful, strengthen the muscles. And when I discovered Kundalini, it was like, all of the above. It's a workout, it's a meditation for your mind, it's a lot of breath work, the mantras and this movement of energy, working with the chakras, visualization. It contains all other types of yoga. And it just, Yogi Bhajan particularly, the more I've learned about him throughout the years, the more I respect him. He was pronounced a master when he was 16 years old in India, and he came first to Toronto to take a job at the university. He has a PhD, but the professor he was going to be working with died, and it was wintertime, and his luggage got lost. I don't know if you ever heard this story.
I was doing my research today.
Yeah. So he was kind of in a dire circumstance that he like made some shoes out of paper and string. And I've been in Toronto in the wintertime, and it's really cold and snowy. But Sikhs have this kind of, they're lions. Singh, they have this culture of being like powerful and being a warrior, being resourceful. So he came down to New Mexico, where I was for summer solstice, where it's much warmer, and founded his yoga organization there, which is now international, in many countries across the world, with teacher trainings in 56 countries. And basically, I think my first exposure to Yogi Bhajan actually was those little yogi tea with those little sayings.
Yeah, when I explain about you, I have to kind of go through a whole process and say, oh yeah, he studies in the lineage of Yogi Bhajan, and like they kind of have, usually people have a blank stare, and I say, Yogi tea. Yeah. So then usually we make a little progress after that.
I was reading all those little messages and like, oh, this is like really helpful little bit of wisdom in like 3 words, like, you are unlimited, and like develop the power of listening, and just these simple little sentences. And then if you look at a lecture of Yogi Bhajan's words, like every sentence is one of those. It's amazing. It's like, he would go out and lecture around the world day after day, year after year, and teach classes. And his lectures are just packed with those little aphorisms, little sutras of wisdom. And he would do his sadhana. That I teach sadhana on Wednesdays at 4 a.m. and soon to be this week, we're starting on Thursday at 5 a.m. at Yoga on High, which I do as a free service to the community. Sometimes people give donations of food and so on, but Yogi Bhajan does his sadhana. He did his sadhana until he left his body in 2004. Every morning, this like from 3 in the morning during the Amrit Vela, the sacred time before the sun rises, like a 3-hour practice. We go to sleep at like midnight, get a few hours of sleep, do this yogic practice and meditation, and then go out and lecture and teach and do seva, do service at the temples and things. Like, it was just very hardworking yogi.
So I just wanted to let our viewers know, if you go to Google and you want to find Satnam Singh and you type in Satnam Singh, he will come up at the top of the list if you're in Columbus on Google, and it will tell you that he teaches at Yoga on High as kind of, that first call up. And so I thought that was really great, because I was researching his name and then thinking I was going to get the definition, and there he was right in Google. So he's also very hardworking, and I just wanted to share that because it is paying off, and I just appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate your work.
And I teach at 3 other studios now too. I think 4 total studios, 4 days a week, maybe 5 now. But that's, Yoga on High will be the first one that comes up. Those are the big classes.
I just wanted to mention it's like a base, but definitely.
Yeah, if you go to Kundalini Yoga of Columbus, Ohio, that's the Facebook group. and under the About section there is like all the classes that me and several other Kundalini teachers teach like throughout the week. I'm going to make that into a graphical schedule for everyone here soon too.
Okay, awesome. So my third question is, do you see yourself as a visionary?
Yeah, I went to Ohio State for art and technology, and I was really into creating art as I was growing up, and just this aspect of like creation, creating something to give someone an experience. Someone sees a painting or a sculpture, 3D animation and video, and even like robotics and holograms and stuff we were working with, to give them, like kind of open their mind to a more like kind of mystical state of experience beyond, the box of mental whatever that people are in. And then I got into making music and played with a few bands in Columbus, and we played around a little bit. And I was more into opening people up through music, and because I thought it would be more accessible than trying to get people to an art gallery, like playing out shows at bars and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I got into teaching yoga, which is kind of more of an inner experience. Like you close your eyes and you breathe and you kind of relieve tension from your body, and you kind of do a little workout and you get your energy moving, and then you go into meditation and you start to experience, who you really are. So it's I don't know, it's kind of the progression.
That would be, yes. Sweet.
Well, as a visionary, now, I mean, the vision that I'm trying to create now is, is uplifting the world. So I help people to uplift themselves. You drop any kind of blocks of fear or shyness, we sing and dance and move, and then, you come to peace within yourself. And when you go out, you share that with someone else. If everyone brings themselves to a state of peace, then the world is at a state of peace, because it starts within.
And I think a good visionary, it's like a pre-visualization almost,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like when I can only speak from example, but if I'm, creating a medicine wheel ceremony, then I do start with seeing what the astrology is about, feeling the energy of the land, and pre-visualizing how I want it to go, how I want the weather to look. So I'm sure that you have a similar kind of process where it's like, I want to wake up today and I want to, inspire people with my energy, and by tuning your energy, then it's obviously affecting everyone else, and it like continues every day.
Yeah, that's very true. Our morning practice, we set our own energy, we get ourselves ready, just like you brush your teeth and take a shower, like we do our meditation, you get your mind, your body, your breath like united into a nice, peaceful, powerful state. And then we teach that, we share that, and we talk about our presence is very important as a teacher, like, because if I'm sitting there like meditating, I started off class this morning, I just played the gong, and I just sat there, and everyone just became so still and peaceful and relaxed. I didn't even have to say anything. I just like presented it, and then they go out and they're a little bit less stressed when they deal with their kids and their jobs, and then that it just spreads like a chain reaction. And I try to hold that vision of like peace and love and forgiveness kind of within my mind and share that.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about your involvement with the Serpentbird 7. So tell me what your experience has been like working on the medicine wheel ceremonies, and what does it do for you in terms of connecting yourself and others with nature and the land in Columbus?
Yeah, so it was way back in like 2011, I think, where we started doing our first medicine wheels, and it's been a beautiful experience. Like each medicine wheel has been different. I think the first one I represented the north, which is the winter time and the bear, and it was like grounding. People would come over and I would lead them through this little meditation and talk about the power of the north. Going out into the woods and nature. I grew up in the woods, and there's like waterfalls and things back behind my parents' house, up in the suburbs of Cleveland and North Royalton. But, I feel like that's so important to connect with the land. It's like our natural state. That's what makes our body and mind function in our natural, most healthy functioning way. I taught an outdoor yoga class earlier this week where you were there, but then I represented different directions, the east and the west, and I started getting into playing my gong and playing drums and leading medicine songs that I learned over the years. Just like we were singing a second ago, your original one, but like "Oh Great Spirit" and what "Fly Like Eagles." We had a beautiful experience just dancing around and throwing flower petals and singing these songs to connect with the earth and connect with the elements of nature. It's been a very important, because normally most yoga classes are indoors, and I teach at festivals where we teach outdoors. And the medicine wheel is just it's kind of it's like an ancient kind of shamanic way of connecting with the earth, similar to what we do in yoga, just kind of from the Native American tradition, a different type of Indian, you might say.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you.
And for our last question, this is, just my creativity working, so you be creative with the answer as you wish. How would you explain to a multinational corporation what you're dedicating your life to?
Yeah, I actually did just start teaching corporate yoga in a business atmosphere. People are on their lunch break and they come, and I like to tell people it's more than just this. It's not like this esoteric expanding my mind and getting all these yogic powers and stuff. The simple aspect of you're exposed to so much information and stimulation and your mind gets stressed out. It's like daily maintenance. It's like brushing your teeth, and you clear your mind of all of the crap that builds up before you become anxious. You become angry, you lash out at someone, and then what happens? Like, you get fired, or you might upset someone and you might ruin your business deal, or whatever the corporation would be doing. So you're creating a product, right? The product is you. A more healthy, more happy, more mental alertness, a better functioning product that you can then market to others. And that might be a way that I would describe it.
Okay. So what is the feedback so far from that experience?
Yeah, people have been very open-minded, and I taught, you kind of have to meet people where they're at. It's kind of like what I was talking about. Some people I meet through Native American ceremonies, or through yoga, or through playing music. But people that might not be ready for the whole full-blown Kundalini turbans and gongs and chanting, I'll lead them through some simple hatha stretching and some non-mystified kind of ways of just dealing with their breath and their mind, and it's a progression. You come to that stillness, and for some people that might be all they need, and some people might like to go a little deeper, and I have to like I said, meet people where they're at, and allow them that space for their own growth, however that path may lead.
Awesome. So is there anything else you want to add to Serpentbird Activation today?
And well, like I mentioned, we wear turbans, we wear the white a lot, and these are lifestyle practices that Yogi Bhajan recommended for us. It's kind of like even you'll see Christians like the popes and people, they wear a little hat, or like Jews wear a yarmulke, covering your head like the nuns do. It's kind of a sign of modesty and respect, and that you enter that spiritual space. And I wear my turban when I teach or when I attend a Kundalini class, but not all the time. And wearing white brightens up your projection. So it's a color of purity and cleanliness, and it's bright. Like each color has a frequency, like the chakras, and white contains all the frequencies. Like white light is all the other colors combined. So, but of course, I can't wear it all the time because I have to keep it clean and stuff like that. But Yogi Bhajan recommended all of these different lifestyle things, like taking cold showers and certain diets and certain ways to wake up and go to sleep at night. And everything that I've done, I mean, the man is brilliant understanding of the body, both from the Indian Ayurvedic kind of perspective and the Western physiology perspective as well. So they're just things that people can try if they want, and kind of see how that enhances your experience.
So I would assume like what you're trying to say is, let's say if one day you're wearing blue or red or yellow or green, and the next day, let's say for 4 days straight you're wearing just a solid color. Let's use our imagination here. And then you were to wake up and go, I really feel the need to wear white today, and you put that garment on, then what happens energetically for you?
Yeah, then you'll start to see how you feel more expanded. They say it expands your aura by like 3 feet. Aura is like 9 feet. But, when people feel sick or closed off or depressed, like the aura is constricted. You have a very small electromagnetic field, a very small like radiance. And wearing white is just a way to expand that radiance. Your posture, your breath, these things also contribute to that.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I think we'll end there today.
Sat Nam.
Sada.